All set to go. Familiar opponents here seeking a semi-final place. Last year, Dublin beat Galway by a point. The year before, Galway beat Dublin by a point. What does this afternoon hold? The match referee is David Goff from Meath. He was also in charge last year when the same two teams met in the championship. Paul Falloon of Down and Barry Cassidy of Derry are his sideline officials, and Sean Lonergan from Tipperary is the sideline, the fourth official, as it were, here at Croke Park for this quarter-final, last of the quarter-finals. Match underway, and it's Galway who get it under control immediately here and came out to take it. There was Matthew Tierney leaving it off here as far as Kieran Malloy got the nod to start today, in as far as Rob Finnerty back here towards Dylan McHugh, and Galway looking to try and make a positive opening to the match here. Huge crowd. They were expecting an attendance of in excess of 75,000 in Croke Park for the afternoon double-header. And this is John Daly now, giving it to Shane Walsh, who can kick right or left, as we know only too well. McDade all the way across to Kieran Malloy, who was involved in this move right from the very beginning. And there's once again Dylan McHugh taking their time, trying to make sure that when they do get the shot away, if they do, it's got a fair chance of making the target. John Daly now. They've all settled in pretty quickly now at this stage, Galway. Killian McDade cutting in on the baseline there. Conor Callaghan makes sure he doesn't get any further. Back it comes once again to the man in the pink boots today, Shane Walsh. Number 22, as I mentioned in the scene, said is Kane Darcy. Paul Conroy operating in the middle of the field alongside John Maher. John the captain. Again, it is Finnerty. They've held the ball up now for 90 seconds. Darcy looking to try and dash through here, if possible. Finally, a well-placed ball by John Daly all the way across over here as far as Killian McDade. Who's going to take on the shot eventually? Shane Walsh. Back to Matthew Tierney, who went in for the throw-in. It's going to be Walsh, maybe? No. Back to Tierney again. Cautious in their approach. Daly. Dublin players, meanwhile, just on their toes there, making sure they keep Galway out and about. Still they threaten. And it's Rob Finnerty back towards McHugh. Cutting inside here, hand went in. Cian Darcy looking to try and get space, get room, and in the end the referee's going to bring it back, and there'll be a free in because of a jersey tap.
Yeah, they worked it well, Ger. We've seen this from Galway in the past. They're quite comfortable in those 2-minute long possession phases. Put nothing up for grabs, eventually created the overlap and won the free, and Rob Finnerty chipped that over at his ease.
He's got 217 already in this year's championship, and as Eamon Fitzmaurice suggests, it was easy for him. And there is the lead for Galway.
The lads mentioned beforehand Tomas's analysis there about getting the ball down the tee and quick, but in these kind of situations where they have a free in their set, this will be the interesting kind of kickouts from Evan Comerford,
who had a mixed day against Donegal. That one out there towards the flanks. They managed to get the touchdown, did well, kept it in play, and now Davy Byrne able to bring it infield.
Yeah, well worked by them, brave kick out and well judged.
Kieran Kilkenny knocked across over here, moving out of the number 3 position straight away is Owen Kennedy. He's been the left half back on the Dublin team in recent matches. Here's Colin Basquel, had a very, very influential game here last weekend. Niall Scully, busy as ever, across as far as Kieran Kilkenny. Looking to try and get by John Maher if he can. First touch there for Cormac Costello, having a go on the spin there with that one, and the umpire goes for the white flag, and the teams are level immediately.
Score, Joe. Match up straight away. Jack Glenn is on Paddy Small, Liam Silk is on Khan, Cian Hernan is on Costello at the far side, Davy Burns on Finnerty, Sean McMahon's on Shane Welch, Theo Clancy's on Matthew Tierney. They're the three ups at both sides as well.
It'll be Conor Gleeson's first restart. Goes very long. Down towards Cian Darcy. Fingers touching it. But it's Dublin to come away with it, and it's Niall Scully. He's got Kilkenny there with him. Scully moving through the centre now, looking to set up a scoring opportunity. Once again, it's Costello who takes it from him on the left this time. hit it with a certain degree of confidence, but inaccurately as well. And that's the first miss of the day by Dublin.
Yeah, Cormac Costello is always going to be willing to take the shot as soon as it opens up. It was one of the things last week that kept Donegal in the game in terms of their shooting. We saw when Conor Gleeson goes out long there, the battle of the big bodies.
So maybe he'll try one towards the flanks this time. Down towards what might have been right half forward, but fisted back down by Ciarán Kilkenny. Back to Cormac Costello once again. Running with him there is Paddy Small. Paddy Small, a goal scorer last week, running into trouble there. Too many Galway bodies around him, but Dublin managed to retain it and do so well with Cormac Costello. And then intervening there was Dylan McHugh to take it, give it to his captain John Maher, and Galway's turn now to move it downfield once again. It'll be Killian McDade who will take this. Still remembered, I'm sure, by Galway fans for a wonderful display against Armagh, the 2022 All-Ireland quarter-final, when he got a goal and 2 that day. Here he is once again, waiting for the reinforcements to arrive, and they do so with John Maher. All the way over here to Finian O'Leigh. He gets the opportunity to start today. Clipped down into the corner to Rob Finnerty, challenged there by Davy Byrne. Finnerty holding. Back towards the centre to Maher once again. Tinkering around the edges at this early stage, Galway. Back to McDade. Started that move. Saw the Galway players ahead of him. Opted to go back as far as McHugh eventually. Once more it'll be Finian O'Leigh. They've had a number of different players in that number 11 position essentially for them, but O'Leigh is the one today, getting his hands to it, back towards Cian Darcy, swings around, kicks it well and scores.
Yeah, second time now, Ger, that they've sucked a lot of bodies out around the arc, and then eventually they attack into the space as they did over the top there. Eventually the ball ended up with Cian Darcy and he finished, so they're quite content to be patient in their build-up and attack into the space rather than loading it up inside. Darcy
from Ballybowden taking on Colin Basquel today here, teammates in Dublin. Right now it is a bit of pressure being exerted by Conor O'Callaghan. His marker is Jack Lynn, got it on the right, kicks it confidently, and a nice start there by Conor O'Callaghan and by Dublin. Levelled again.
Great score, direct football. Ger won the kick out, looked inside straight away. You had Con in those one-on-one situations, it spells danger. He was content to take the point there.
Goal scorer in each of his last 3 championship matches, Conor O'Callaghan. Means so much to Dublin to have him fit and to have him in there. Conor Gleeson going down through the centre this time, a little flick on, nicely done there by Tierney, setting up an opportunity. Down inside here it's Rob Finnerty holding, waiting, back into the centre once again to Conroy. A boomer up into the air, but completely lacking direction. The goalkeeper decides forget about the restart, will play out from the back. Evan Comerford back out as far as Charlie McMorrow. Doing well, made a lot of ground. Basquel comes, offers himself. McMorrow decides to go all the way back to Sean McMahon instead. And Dublin will build sensibly out of the back. Owen Kennedy. Space now in which to manoeuvre. Nearest Galway player to him is Killian McDade. Has the support here from Paddy Small, injured after he scored his goal last week, but happily able to start here today. Kilkenny in, retained well there. Back once again towards Niall Scully. Paddy Small has options inside, he goes for the 2-pointer himself, kicked it nicely, kicked it really well. Fabulous 2-point effort there by Paddy Small, first 2-pointer of the day.
Great score. Opposite kind of approach from Dublin there as they were building their attack. They sucked bodies in towards the inside line, created a bit of space in the arc. Paddy Small, very accurate. He scored 2.19 from play already in championship, and a lovely 2-pointer to get him on the money there.
Down through the middle, the Galway restart collected, however, by Basquel for Dublin, and away they go once again. Theo Clancy now. Scully sending it back in quickly, back in towards the big danger man inside. Conor O'Callaghan getting away from his marker, who is Jack Lynn, easily tapping that one over. Dublin fans appreciating it. Second point of the day by Conor O'Callaghan, playing in his 63rd championship game.
Yeah, and he's almost easing himself into the game. First of all, Scully again is willing to look inside for him. They're hitting him centrally rather than forcing him wide, and he's not trying to explode past the man at the moment, Ger, but he's got 2 good points. Straight away, Liam Silk has gone over onto him again, sorry.
Galway the ones, of course, with a weekend off last weekend. That is the big man, Peadar O'Cofaigh-Byrne there, beaten in the air. They'd expect a big performance from him. He's got the physique, he's got the football, he can do an awful lot in the middle of the field. Dublin need a big performance. Dylan McHugh looking to try and get the next score now. This is Cian Hernan. They got a goal in the last match.
We see the setup here again now, Ger, with the exception of Cian Darcy. There's a lot of the Galway lads are staying outside, and the edge of the arc, they've been turned over here.
What was Shane Walsh thinking of there? A little bit too casual, then a foul committed, and then the free kick awarded to Dublin, and the pressure is back on the Dublin backs, or the Galway backs once again, and it's Costello. Poor effort by him, comes back out to Kieran Malloy.
Yeah, brilliantly read by John Daly. He's excellent at that, at slipping back into that kind of a position.
McDade waiting for John Maher again to come forward. Plays with great energy and power. It's interesting that Paul Conroy has been picked up by Peadar O'Cofaigh-Byrne. Rob Finnerty holding and waiting. Knocked across over here towards Finian O'Lye. Trying to go by Davy Byrne. Back on to Finnerty again. Well able to hit from outside or to move it in, as we know. One of the great inside forwards in the game at present, Rob Finnerty. So it's Kieran Malloy once more. McDade saying, come, carry. He's on his left-hand side here, Killian McDade, now taking it from him. Fisted inside, O'Ly's back there again, on his left, nicely inside the right-hand upright. And that's a good response.
Yeah, they're working it well. They're leaving the space inside, and they're eventually getting the passes, handy little passes like that. Good from Killian McDade.
Good kick out.
Good finish then. Brilliant kick out from Comerford.
Back from Lee Gannon. Back as far as Niall Scully once again. Now it's Costello's turn to carry it forward. Kieran Kilkenny playing in his 9th quarter-final match in the All-Ireland Series. All the way over as far as Paddy Small, got that 2-pointer a little while ago. It's Charlie McMorrow fancying something special, but it's a way out and a way to the left, and it's Dublin's second wide of the game. Bit wasteful.
Yeah, he's been going well, but it's a bit ambitious. You mentioned it already, Ger, the fact that the Dubs played last weekend. They're in the game straight away. Sometimes when you have a weekend off, as Galway had, it can take you a while to get going and wear yourself into the game.
Dublin have won 4 of their 6 championship matches so far. That's well taken. That's a good kick out that time. Out there as far as Liam Silk. Dylan McHugh for a Galway side. Played just 4 matches in the championship. They've won 3. The odd one out, of course, being the Connacht final loss to Roscommon. Kieran Malloy played in that game. Back out to Shane Walsh. And it's got a goal and 22 points this year so far. So ever dangerous. John Daly again, back in. Finnerty moving this way and that. Slipping the little hand pass. Maher. A give and go. Back out it comes towards Darcy, has scored already. O'Ly likewise. And here's Finnerty drilling that ball with his left boot between the uprights. And it's a 2-pointer as well for Rob Finnerty. So that's his 3rd point of the match.
It's magnificent, Ger. That's just a player that's playing with such confidence outside of the left from outside the arc. Brilliant score.
Level for the 3rd time. An absorbing game, like all of the quarterfinals have been in this wonderful weekend of GAA Football Championship action at Croke Park. Ready to carry it up is Kieran Kilkenny. Leaving it for Paddy Small. While Kilkenny moves to the right-hand side. Kennedy gives it back as far as Scully again to be the main instigator of this attack. Pulling the strings at the back and moving John Maher across.
Yeah, Dublin are opening up space at the top of the arc again, Ger. They're forcing bodies inside and they're trying to create one-on-ones out here.
And it's Scully who looks up and sees exactly what Eamon is saying. And that's played inside here to McMahon, who kept going forward, and Scully takes it again, back on his left. Lacked control, however, when he shot it in the end, and that is a third miss by Dublin.
Yeah, setup was good, but the finish not so much.
Big, huge boomer of a kick out that time, down towards Matthew Tierney, but collected instead there by Theo Clancy, wearing number 6 today. Forward it goes once again to Paddy Small. Looking at the movement right and left of him, Basquel waiting there. Forward once again comes Kennedy. Owen Kennedy having to hold. He's been hounded there by Killian McDade. A couple of Galway players coming out, fancying they might be able to nick it from him. And eventually they do, and it's eventually Paul Conroy who plays it into the centre, and Liam Silk is able to move it forward now here. John Maher then put under pressure by Peadar O'Cofaigh-Byrne, and Peadar O'Cofaigh-Byrne wins it back and gives it in there to Conor O'Callaghan, plays it forward to Paddy Small, and there's a chance here and a score for the taking, and done so perfectly by Paddy Small, his third point of the match.
A brilliant physicality from both teams, Ger. First of all, Galway forced the turnover coming out, then John Maher was dispossessed by brilliant tackling by Peadar O'Cofaigh-Byrne, ended up in the score, had a half sniff of a goal chance, but they were happy to take the point.
His team a point up.
Really aggressive press from Dublin here again, Ger. The last time, he's going to do it here again. He went huge down long and they got a flick on from it.
There was no option right or left, so down through the centre and leaping into the air was Peadar O'Cofaigh-Byrne, and that is what Dublin fans are looking for, that kind of impact from their big man in the centre of the field. They've lost Killian McGuinness to injury. They're also without Owen Merchant as well. All teams missing key players, of course, but Killian McGuinness had been going particularly well this year at the beginning of the championship, and he's a big absentee for them. Brian Howard holding, and out comes Cormac Costello to take it. No pressure on him just yet. Scully. Olai now trying to make life a bit more difficult for him, not giving him the time to be able to pick the perfect pass.
Yeah, they were more passive in the last attack. They're definitely getting engaged a bit further out now.
Kieran Kilkenny darting forward. As he goes, McDade goes as well. Conor O'Callaghan, this time challenged by Liam Silk. It opens up a gap here. Basquel came onto it, fancied it on the right, not so on the left. Back out it comes to Scully again, outside the arc, shooting this one, but without the necessary accuracy that he needed. It's 4 wides already by Dublin. I don't think there's been a Galway miss.
No, I don't have them down for one either, Ger. Yeah, 4 wides, and 2 of those have been 2-point efforts, which has been something of a challenge for them this year. Paddy Small has got one, so that balances the books in terms of the efforts to scores, but they're clearly willing to go for the 2s again today.
We saw Ger Brennan, the manager, there on the sideline leading his Dublin team into a quarter-final for the first time. Ironically, it was against Galway in the National League that he ended up getting a 12-week ban. Charlie McMorrow. Back here it comes to Kieran Kilkenny. Looked across the line immediately. Able to carry it now in his familiar style. And then it'll be Paddy Small to carry it on. See if they can add to their tally of 6 points so far. Cormac Costello, challenged there by Jack Glynn, managed to get it away safely. Kilkenny again. Into the corner it comes to Conor O'Callaghan. 2 points against his name. Worked back to Scully again. Dublin working hard, using the ball productively, but still being kept at bay by Galway. Just waiting patiently for that moment when there'll be an opportunity for them. Basquel fancying it, catching it beautifully. Opening score of the match for Colin Basquel.
Yeah, great score. Galway under pressure in their own kick-outs, they've gone long on all of them. They've had because of how aggressive Dublin's press is, they've only won 3 out of 8. This is their 9th one. We'll see what comes off this one.
And the man organising it is Conor Gleeson, the 33-year-old from Dunmore MacHales. Group of players out there waiting for it. Drop down there. That time by Paul Conroy, but the free awarded. And it's going to be carried on now by John Daly, a man with a very, very good passing range. John Maher, yet to be the prominent and dominant figure we expected in the middle of the field. Rob Finnerty, 3 points so far from 2 scores. Back towards Maher again. Nobody challenging him, so he's got every opportunity now to set something up here for Galway. Shane Walsh, a bit anonymous so far in the match. Looking to try and dart inside, kept at bay that time by Lee Gannon's presence. Back out to Finnerty once more.
Yeah, between Finnerty, Shane Welsh, Conroy, they've comfortable 2-point shooters outside the arc now, as well as having a presence inside.
And it's Paul Conroy knocking it over here towards Shane Walsh. So over to the right-hand side. It'll step up first of all, and then giving it to Finnerty to feed inside. And it's McHugh coming through the centre. Still Dylan McHugh did really well to get a kick away that time. There were a whole group of bodies coming in against him, trying to block his passageway. But my goodness, he showed resilience and determination, and he's made it 7 points to 6.
Yeah, he did really well. I presume the ball broke away from him there, Jared. It wasn't the second hop in a row. But it was the first time that they injected a bit of pace into the attack. I'm not sure it's suiting them 100%, going slow in every attack. It's probably just the nature of the way the game has started.
And that kick out there towards the flanks. It's won by Galway. Crowd getting more and more into the game. Takes a while after such an absorbing first match here at Croke Park. But loads of talent down there in view and on view in this Dublin versus Galway All-Ireland quarter-final. Owen Kennedy carrying it ahead now. Paddy Small quickly moving it inside. Lee Gannon got a couple of scores last weekend. Charlie McMorrow attacking the goal where he actually hit the post against Donegal. Remember, they played not just 70 minutes against Donegal, but they had to go to an extra 20 minutes. So we were wondering about just how fresh they might be and whether it might have taken its toll. So far, so good. Cormac Costello. Back to Kilkenny again. Scully ready to shift it across this side. Con O'Callaghan's there, ready to take. Cian Hernan comes in. They work it in, just dropped there initially by Lee Gannon, needed a moment. Kilkenny again. Con O'Callaghan turning, shooting from outside, under-hitting this one by quite a distance. And it gives Galway now with John Daly the opportunity to bring it downfield again. Point behind in the 22nd minute. Cian Hernan in his 4th championship season.
Even in that kind of a situation, it's very much a deliberate build-up, Jared. They're not looking to go fast at all.
So Maher again now, carrying it on here. Conroy ready to take it from him. Give the team great leadership as he has done over the years. Finnerty. Ooh, almost showed too much of that. Has it back. McHugh. Safely into John Daly. Switched across here as far as Killian McDade. Bit more urgency now. Out to Shane Walsh. Again, didn't fancy it because he had big Cian Darcy in front of him there. Know one another well from playing in the Dublin County Championships. So Finnerty threads it outside. Picked up here by Matthew Tierney. Much will be expected from him as well. Daly inside. McHugh coming. Back to Darcy once again. Playing in Dublin now for the last 3 seasons. Rob Finnerty again. Tanner O'Coffey-Byrne is the number 8 for Dublin, and this is Finnerty cutting inside here, using the fist this time between the uprights and adding to his tally. He's now got 4 points in this match, and Dublin now lead Galway. It's correction, it's 7 points apiece, I should say. Level for the 4th time.
Yeah, lovely burst of pace by Rob Finnerty. Dublin backs in general are trying to keep the Galway lads outside them. But if there's a hole punctured somewhere, the whole thing can collapse.
So level at 7 points apiece. Malloy battling in there. In there as well as Lee Gannon of Dublin. Linesman on the near side, who is Barry Cassidy of Derry. Says it's a Galway ball. Off they go. Finian O'Lye carrying it on into Darcy. Fancies this one. There was no challenge coming in from Brian Howard. He had a go, and it's a 2-pointer. Really well done by Cian Darcy 3 points in all now he's scored, and Galway lead by 2.
Yeah, lovely score from him. They went a bit quicker. I'd still be saying that they could go quicker. They were even a bit slow getting the ball when it went over the sideline, but moved it in. Great finish from Cian Darcy from that sweet spot into the hill.
Evan Comerford again trying to pick out a colleague out on the far side, and he's done remarkably well. Davy Byrne caught it, gave it forward quickly to Scully. Nobody anticipating that pass forward, so Galway slow enough in getting across. Basquel inside of Cofic Byrne, back it comes, and that effort goes sailing over the crossbar. Fine point scored there once again by Cormac Costello. 2 in the match for him.
Yeah, excellent from Comerford to get that kick away again, because Galway are starting to read it. Dublin in the championship are the best team at getting scores off sharp kickouts, and we can see it that when they get them away, similar to the analysis that Tomas had before the game, where you go from back to front very quickly, it's very effective.
Galway's restart. This time the target is Paul Conroy, fisted down. Conroy got a little touch to it there, got it back as far as Kieran Malloy, and the tribesmen managed to hold it and bring it out now with John Daly across to his captain Maher from Salthill Knocknacara. Played off to Shane Walsh. Again, that little step forward here, trying to outfox Charlie McMorrow. Playing it back, Cian Hernan. John Daly again in an advanced position, all the way over here to the unmarked Killian McDade. Quickly across came Scully, caught him as well. Malloy, Kieran Malloy gets enough room to get the kick in and put it up and over the crossbar. First of the match by Kieran Malloy from Corofin.
Yeah, he's a brilliant player. There didn't look much on when he sized up Lee Gannon initially, Jar, but finished it well. Came from the kick pass from John Daly across. He's always comfortable in doing that.
Now it's Dublin who are 2 behind. Paddy Small, big huge booming kick inside there, in there as far as Con O'Callaghan, trying to get the better of his man here. It's O'Callaghan. He's looking at the referee, saying he was being pulled and dragged that time. The referee has blown his whistle and decides that it's going to be just a 13-metre free.
Yeah, he was wondering if he wasn't fouled inside. We see it there initially. So there was both an advance mark and a free for holding for Con there, but we saw him going at his man there. I mentioned it already, Jared. Dublin are definitely hitting him more centrally this evening in terms of their kick passes inside. Last week those kick passes were going out to the corner, and when he was getting them it wasn't hugely dangerous, but Con getting ball from kick balls centrally like that is highly dangerous.
And it's penalised by Cormac Costello, that foul by Galway, so it's now 10 points to 9.
Again, that came from the Comerford sharp kick out.
This kick out again sweeps across over here towards John Maher, trying to touch it down to a couple of Galway players, but he touched it only as far as Costello, on as far as Lee Gannon. Gannon decides to switch it back here to Niall Scully, and then he goes off, takes it on his own here. Galway organised their defence, but meanwhile it's Dublin who are trying to get the next score with Cormac Costello. Should have made that one, I think. Player of his class and ability. It's 5 wides instead.
Yeah, he'd a split second to steady himself.
Well, when Galway won here back in 2024 in the quarter-final, it was their first win over Dublin for some 90 years. That's the history between these two. Paul Conroy, long kick downfield towards Rob Finnerty, taking Davy Byrne out there with him. The reinforcements arrive, and it's Dylan McHugh coming onto it, and a nice steady shot by the Corofin, and Galway number 5, and his second of the day. So another one for Galway. Once again, a 2-point game.
Yeah, well worked. A more place kick out that time. They won it. Cian Darcy gone down into the corner, and then they were willing to kick it inside to give Finnerty the chance to get a ball 1-on-1, and then he did excellent support from Dylan McHugh. Well worked from Galway.
Dublin's kick out here, it's towards Kieran Kilkenny. He reached up, he made sure he got it, and then he plays it inside to Owen Kennedy to carry it on. Kicked forward by Niall Scully. Why not when you have a man like Con O'Callaghan inside against Cian Hernan, and he's going to win those kind of long high balls in there time after time, you would imagine.
That was outstanding, Ger, because he kind of had to adjust his run, and it was looking like it was going to beat the two of them. He had to hold his ground for a split second, and he still managed to win it and draw the foul. Cian Hernan and Liam Silke rotating duties on him.
It's a huge task for any player to try and keep tabs on Conor Callaghan. And it'll be Cormac Costello now to try and add to the 3 points he's already scored. Easy as you like. So another one for Dublin and for Cormac Costello. One between them. Just over 5 minutes to go to half-time. Gleeson's kick across over here is won by Dublin, taken down neatly, in there for Colin Basquel. Always moving quickly, plays it back here. Lee Gannon knocking it over to Owen Kennedy, one of the cooler men. And Ciarán Kilkenny, fists in the air, is signalling perhaps a ploy of some sort that they have arranged. Theo Clancy back where it started, back with Ciarán Kilkenny once again. His 86th championship match this afternoon this is. Paddy Small. Players moving up on that left-hand side. Colin Basquel. Dublin one behind, looking to try and maybe level or go in front here with this kick. It's a fine one by Niall Scully. It's a two-pointer and Dublin lead the match once again.
Yeah, excellent from Niall Scully. Make that maybe their 5th to 10th second conversion, Jar. Great kick from him.
An absolutely absorbing match so far. Great kick out down there if it works out towards Darcy, but it didn't. And it's Theo Clancy who mops it up instead. And once again Scully kicking on sight all the way into the prime target in there. This time well done by Cian Hernan to outfetch Conor Callaghan and give it off to John Maher. McDade looked over his shoulder, then played it out here as far as Paul Conroy. Gives it to Cian Darcy. 2 scores already by Darcy. One of them was a two-pointer, this time nicely inside here for Olai. Checked, gave it back to Darcy once again. Under pressure was Kieran Malloy that time. Too much pressure. He looked at the referee simply said, come on, get going. Davy Byrne. 3.5 minutes to go to the interval. McMorrow holding. And in the company of a couple of other Dublin players, he moves it out now. He was excellent last week, starting very, very prominently here as well. Back out to Paddy Small. Basquel sees that Owen Kennedy is completely unmarked, at least he was for a moment. Nearest man to him now is McDade. He has a go for 2. It's bang on line. It's a beauty. It's just inside, however, and it's a one-pointer.
Yeah, he was inside, Jerry. Took the step inside and kicked it over. Great score from Paddy Joyce. Was furious with Kieran Malloy when he kicked the ball up in the air at the far side. Galway just don't seem to have a short option in terms of getting short kickouts away. They're under pressure big time in the long ones.
And here's another long one by Galway. Might be theirs yet. No. Referee says there was a foul committed by Cian Darcy, jumping up onto the back of the Dublin player nearest to him. And Basquel now, late on in this first half, taking it forward here. Having a crack. Again, it's gone away to the left-hand side. 6 wides by the Dubs. Not a miss so far from any of Galway's attacks. And a 2-point game.
Yeah, Galway are hanging in there. It's similar to the Donegal game last week, where Dublin are shooting on sight. They have a load of shots. They've over doubled the shots that Galway have had. But as you mentioned, because of their inefficiency, the score difference is only 2 points.
Porrick Joyce out on the sideline. Ger Brennan here as well, leading Dublin. Close to half-time now at this stage. Dublin, or Galway rather, trying to hold on to their own kick out. It's a bit messy in there. They battle hard, lots of bodies reaching in. Finally, John Maher takes it out. Somehow manages to retain the possession, gives it out to Kieran Malloy. And Malloy of Galway now gets going. They're 2 points down. But 90 seconds remaining in the opening half. That was Paul Conroy having a go for 2. And why not when you've got that kind of scoring ability?
Yeah, huge score, Ger. That's their third two in the first half. It's keeping them in touch. And after winning that scrap for possession in the middle of the field, whichever team got it, it was always going to be a huge score. Level game.
Level for the fifth time. So into the last 55 seconds or thereabouts as Evan Comerford restarts. Out here towards Brian Howard. Touchdown well as far as Niall Scully. And maybe the last opportunity of this first half will be to Dublin. Cormac Costello down towards Con O'Callaghan. O'Callaghan decides to fist this one between the uprights and puts it over. It's his third point of the match so far, and Dublin edge back in front again.
Yeah, we've mentioned it already, Ger. Just their willingness to go quick inside to him. He's 1-on-1. Ball is landing centrally. He's getting a chance to go at his man. He's 3 got already. He's been fouled for a couple of frees. He's looking hugely dangerous.
From this kick out, touchdown there by Gannon by Dublin, and picked up here by Galway, and then lost to Charlie McMorrow. 5 seconds to go.
You need to have a shot quick.
Paddy Small kicks, it's up into the air, it's not going to count anyway, and that is the conclusion of an engrossing opening 35 minutes, the final quarter-final match here at Croke Park this weekend. The teams have been level on 5 occasions. Some wonderful performances down there by players on both sides. Dublin have been more wasteful. They've had 6 wides, Galway without a wide, which is very, very surprising. But at the break here, it is a 1-point game. It's Dublin 14 points, Galway 13. Back with Joanne and her panel right after this. Since the day the doors opened up here today at about 12 o'clock to admit people into Croke Park, everybody that could take a seat has been in. It's a full house, or has been at one stage or rather. 82,000 people in Croke Park for the quarterfinals. Right now it's a case of who's going to join the other 3 in the semi-final draw coming up after this match is finished. Paul Conroy setting up Galway's attack here, retained inside by Matthew Tierney, one of those yet to score. Finnerty's done okay, he's got 4 points. Knocking it back here to John Daly, playing it inside. Back out comes Finian O'Lye. Conroy again pushing it ahead to McHugh. Here's a scoring opportunity, but it goes the wrong side of the post after all of that, and that is Galway's first wide coming the opening minute of the second half.
First wide, Ger, but it was crisper. It was quicker. There was quicker movement to the ball, quicker movement to the players. Conroy kicked it into Matthew Tierney at the start of it, so you can imagine the instructions that Patrick Joyce gave to them at half-time.
Evan Comerford did well in the first half with his kick out, and he's made a very good start to the second. Down to Peadar O'Cofaigh Byrne. Nicely forward as far as Con O'Callaghan. That's been the message from the word go. And this time Con can't steer it on target. 7 wides by Dublin.
It's probably the only thing that they're getting wrong in terms of their shooting accuracy, Ger. That, you know, it's down at 60%.
Conor Gleeson, and who played in goal for Pádraig Joyce in his very first match in charge when Pádraig became the manager back in 2020. Into the centre here, collected by Cian Darcy, feeds it back as far as John Maher, looking to try and operate and bully matters in the middle of the park now. Dublin have been doing particularly well in that area. Now it's the turn of Cian Hernan to carry it forward. Switched outside as far as Kieran Malloy, ever willing, puts in an awful lot of hard work in every match he plays in for Galway. Ditto Killian McDade. McDade running across here. Kilkenny the nearest Dublin player to him. Rob Finnerty up against Davy Byrne. Byrne trying to keep him out there, resist him. Back it comes to John Daly. He fancies hitting one in smartly. It works out as well. Down there in the middle of all of that was Killian McDade looking at the referee. Referee says he fell on the ball, play on. Kilkenny playing it back to the safety of Davy Byrne. And that's booted out under a lot of pressure. Galway certainly exerting a bit more urgency now into their play. McHugh, back here it comes as far as John Daly. Back to Finnerty it comes again, outside the arc, up and over the bar. Another 2-pointer scored by Rob Finnerty, and that's 2 for the day. It's 5 points in all now by him. And once again, it is a 1-point game.
Yeah, outstanding from Rob Finnerty. They just, from a Galway perspective, need to get him on the ball more. Shane Welsh needs to wear himself into the game as well. As the lads mentioned at half-time, he's had no impact so far.
Kilkenny always makes an impact. Across here as far as Charlie McMorrow. In his first championship season, of course. Down to Lee Gannon, who's come back from injury. Gives experience and great know-how to the side. Niall Scully, who was directing operations from a deep position for much of the first half. Out to Cormac Costello. Real chance here, then he has to turn back. Good defensive work by Galway, and really good work by Finian O'Leigh. In there with Jack Lynn, trying to deny Dublin. Picking it up with difficulty was John Maher. Back out into the centre it comes to Dylan McHugh. Turning around from trouble was Jack Lynn, and the Clare Galway man helped out there by Cian Darcy. Works it out as far as Dylan McHugh. Good teamwork so far from Galway to deny Dublin at one end, and now they put themselves into a possible scoring position up at the other. John Maher holding. Rob Finnerty waiting for it to come to him. Gives it inside to Shane Walsh. Great pass by Walsh, works out brilliantly that time as far as Killian McDade, and that is a superb score by Galway and by Killian McDade. So many players prominently involved in that.
Yeah, brilliant, great pass across from Shane Welsh. Killian McDade had sprinted up when they got the turnover. Dylan McHugh went the other way to John Maher, but he stayed where he was and they got the ball to him eventually.
Galway by 2. Galway's possession. Finnerty going short as far as Matthew Tierney from Uachtarard. Just holds, sums up what's on. Finnerty says again, let me take over. Very confident 28-year-old. Waiting for Cian Darcy to come and take. Both sets of supporters now right behind their teams, engrossed in the contest, enjoying every second of it. It's been that kind of weekend. Absolutely brilliant football right throughout, Saturday and Sunday. Turn back here to Paul Conroy, and then Darcy taking it up again now. Shane Walsh there waiting, slips, gives the pass to McDade, and McDade sees his shot come down off the post, back down into safety. Paddy Small was the one who picked it up. Dublin are the ones to get it out. Owen Kennedy punching it into clear, but not to a fellow Dublin player. It's to Paul Conroy instead. Great intensity in the match at the start of this second half. Opening 6 minutes, really good stuff. Liam Silk. On his right-hand side, he's got Rob Finnerty. He uses him. Turning back inside, slipping it in over the head of O'Cuffig Byrne. Back in it comes towards O'Leigh. And Finian O'Leigh gets another one. Point in each half by him. So 3 points the margin now. Galway in front, having at half-time been 1 point down.
Yeah, it's simple stuff, Ger. It's just a mix of, they've upped the urgency, they've upped physicality, they're sprinting to tackles, they're moving the ball quicker, their own movement is quicker, everything's a bit more accurate and urgent.
Evan Comerford from Ballymun. Sweeping it outside here. Collected great, really good leap in the air that time by Owen Kennedy. Did extremely well to get it down to Colin Basquel. Chased after by Dylan McHugh. On his left, Basquel. That's well wide of the target, however. Takes its time to eventually go wide over there. Second wide of the second half by a Dublin player. That is 8 wides in all now for Ger Brennan's team. Has the subs on the subs bench who could make a big difference when he decides to make a change. No panic yet by either management team. Dublin have it again. Collected here by Niall Scully, racing forward here in the company of Costello. Decides to check and wait, and the whole group of players coming from a deep position to support Niall Scully. And raising the fist in the air is Lee Gannon, man who won an under-20 All-Ireland Championship, I won't remember here, in December 2020 against Galway. Part of a very good Dublin team that day. Looking for more success today, and that is held on too long. That time by Theo Clancy, and now it's John Maher breaks forward. Gives it to Shane Walsh. Walsh looking to be more involved. That pass a few moments ago to set up that last score for them was an absolute peach. Now he's more involved. Now here's Hernan as well. Back outside it comes. Walsh again, looking at the target, trying to get around Lee Gannon. Decides to give it back to Cillian McDaid, who's been very influential. Likewise, this man here, Dylan McHugh. Right up to the edge of the arc. And Finnerty decides, look, let's have a go, let's see what happens. And that one has just gone to the right, only by inches, I would imagine. Just Galway's second wide.
Yeah, it's the first mistake he's made all day, Jared. It looked like it was there all the way and it just tailed at the last second.
Comerford in two minds. Does he go short? Does he go long? Now it's Galway's turn to do what Dublin were doing in the first half, pushing up, being brave, being disciplined and tough. Push this time. The referee sees Dublin take the free. It's to Scully. It's in as far as Con O'Callaghan. Trying to wrong foot the Galway defence. Con in full flow. Back to Scully again it comes. Lots of Galway players back there. Cian Hernan now just watching Con O'Callaghan bringing it back out. He goes with him. Slipped in as far as Peadar O'Cofaigh Byrne. Got his first championship point down at that end against Donegal late in the game last week. Lee Gannon, 3 points in that match. That set Dublin up for this quarter-final place. Now, will they be going any further? At this stage, 3 points down. Early stages of the second half. Basquel. Over it comes as far as Paddy Small. Tries to throw the shoulder and go out wide. Good support here. Comes back as far as Brian Howard. Once more Owen Kennedy. And Kieran Kilkenny can start it all over again here. Again, support right and left. Tries to go by into a channel. Not able to go by, but helped out by Costello. Flicked back to Lee Gannon again. Dublin, as you can see, 3 points down. 10 minutes into the second half. Gannon just trying to make his mind up as to what's the best thing to do here. Paddy Small. Ready to and attempting to take it from him was Con O'Callaghan. All bit of a dummy. Now it's back with Basquel again to try to make this account count for something. It's a really good outside shot under pressure that time by the marvellous Colm Basquel. Dublin needed that. He was right on the edge. He was under pressure as well there from Liam Silk, but he made it.
Yeah, huge score, Jar. As you mentioned, he was under pressure. That was the thing. Galway, to be fair to them, weren't diving in. They weren't selling themselves. Everything was under pressure. A brilliant score from Basquel in the end.
So it's one between them once again. Galway have it back through Finian O'Leigh. Transferred to Kieran Malloy. Both of them got the nod to start in place of Sean Kelly and Shane McGrath. Paul Conroy.
Damien Comer has the top off as well now. Ger will probably be getting him in the next play.
He'll be coming into play for Galway in the championship for the 55th time. Hit by injuries in recent years, of course. Watching now as his colleagues, in particular Dylan McHugh, advances. Oh dear, not his best. The third wide, but really that should have been in the back of the net.
Yeah, a back's finisher will be generous. He just kind of pulled across it rather than keeping it low on target. Cillian McDaid coming off, which is probably a bit of a surprise. Big cheer for Damien Comer coming in. Matthew Tierney gone to the half-forward line.
Yeah, I thought McDaid had been having a particularly good match, but Damien Comer comes in anyway. That's touchdown. Galway win it again. Matthew Tierney, another player who could be a bit more influential in this game, you'd imagine. Has a lot to offer. All the way over to John Maher.
Theo Clancy is the one who's gone back in and Damien Comer.
That's interesting because, of course, he was full back for quite a while in his very young Dublin career. Now he's got a big task on his hands. Cian Darcy rounding a number of Dublin defenders, cracking it with the left. Very, very good shot indeed. The big man who now plays for Ballybowden St Enda's, getting his 4th point of the day.
4th score, and he looked like he wanted to pass it the whole way, but he backed himself in the end off his left side, and great score from him.
So early stages in the second half, really. An awful lot of football to be played here yet, but it is Galway who were a point down at the break, and now they find themselves 2 points up. back into the attack again. Dylan McHugh. Out it goes to Kieran Malloy. And then kicked ahead. Taken in well by Damien Comer. First intervention, back out to Shane Walsh. Bit like old times. A big, huge, optimistic kick by Shane Walsh. But it doesn't get the reward he was looking for. Fourth wide. That's 2 wides in a row. 2 pretty big misses as well.
Yeah, optimistic is the word, Ger. He's probably trying to force himself into the game. Second half has flipped the script of the first half, where Galway were doing very well in the Dublin kick-out until that point.
That was a fabulous catch that time by Brian Howard. Nicely down. Should have been cut out by John Daly. Wasn't. On they go. Basquel. Basquel under pressure. Has kicked it wide. Unbelievable misses at both ends in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
To be fair, I think Cian Hernan deserves huge credit on that one, Ger. He just got his near hand across as Basquel was trying to take the shot. We see him there, and Jack Glynn was diving in, putting pressure on it as well.
Changes coming up anyway, and coming in for Dublin, Ross McGarry. He's number 23. Was exceptional, I thought, in last week's game when he came on. He energised Dublin at that stage against Donegal. Player going off is Cormac Costello. He got 4 points in the first half. 2 of them were from open play.
Galway often use the kick out into the 2 and 4 positions. Ger, a sharp kick out where Killian McDade would run down towards the 4 corner for it. They don't seem to be trying to even do it today.
No, it's all the way straight through the centre, hoping for the best. Tierney that time breaking it down, and it works out this time. Down as far as Olai, who does an awful lot of good work picking up some of those dirty balls in the centre. Untidy stuff, but eventually it comes out to Shane Walsh. Beautifully into Rob Finnerty. Galway with Finnerty, with Comer and with Walsh in their inside forward line right now. Dylan McHugh. Back to John Daly. And it was an all-star back in 2022. McHugh again taking it up. Galway looking to try and go 3 in front with this attack if they can. Finnerty once more. Tierney taking over. Daly. Not the type to optimistically try a shot himself from outside. Gives it to the more established shooters. Olai scheming, trying to get it inside, trying to work it in there. Maher. John Maher again, back. Malloy and Maher. Switch back to another man from Corofin, Dylan McHugh. And finally the elegant Rob Finnerty has a go, but that wasn't terribly elegant at the end, that shot. And it is now a 5th wide. No wides at all in the first half. 5 already in the opening 15 minutes or thereabouts of the second.
Yeah, you mentioned him already, Ger. Finnan Olai. He's having some game in terms of breaking ball, linking play, breaking lines, making the right decisions the whole time.
Evan Comerford again now with this puzzle. What do I do with this kick out? Where do I go? Who's free? He's looking down towards Padro Coffey-Byrne again, and the big man goes up, catches it cleanly, really well done. Johnny gives it to Niall Scully. Fed inside there towards Con O'Callaghan. Now the marking is much more aggressive and tougher on him than it was in the first half. Liam Silk that time was fouling him, and the referee's going to bring it back, and it'll be a free in for Dublin. There he was, Silk, hand in, trying to restrain Con O'Callaghan. It's a tough task for any defender.
Yeah, if you leave the hand in, Con was half hanging on to it as well, but if you leave the hand in, you're giving the ref the opportunity to give the free against you. Huge kick for Con off the ground now.
Con, who's scored 3 points today, that's a goal, and 13 points in all matches against Galway in the championship. First of those back in 2018 when he got a goal and 3 that day. This is 47-48 metres out. A 2-point attempt that comes down off the post. It's collected by Scully, gets there ahead of Hernan. He's on an advantage, and the referee might bring it back, but they're going to have a go anyway. Owen Kennedy outside the arc, shooting it, and now the referee will bring it back for the second time in this phase.
Yeah, clever from Scully. He knew he was on an advantage, and rather than just chipping over the 1-pointer, they looked at the 2. Con knew it was waving slightly, moving off target, hit the post. Scully reacted quickest and got fouled.
There is a very, very strong breeze at this stage, Eamon, and that ball is tapped over. Conor Callaghan with 4 points in the match. That's the first to come from a free for Ger Brennan's team.
Well, we're going into narrower spine formation this time. They've broken towards the Cusack stand side. He's gone that way.
With about 18 minutes left in the match, this final quarter-final at Croke Park. Who's going to join Mayo, Kerry, Louth, and who'll be there, the fourth team in the draw, which will be happening on this programme right after the conclusion of this match. Semi-finals coming up in 2 weeks' time. Galway moving it out to Cian Darcy. Helped out by John Maher. Ready to carry it. Everybody picked up inside. Dublin with plenty of defenders on and around the middle of the arc. Dylan McHugh looking to see if they can go two up here against the Dubs. John Daly, back it comes. That's Kieran Malloy, and Malloy's shot is spot on. Good kick, 2 for him today, and that is the position. It's Galway who lead now by 19 points to 17. Quick kick out, which is battled for there by John Maher, and now he's winning those exchanges. Now he gives it inside to his midfield ally, Paul Conroy. Flipped inside nicely as far as Finian O'Lye. Turned back out again to Shane Walsh. Holds on. Challenged there strongly by Kieran Kilkenny, and also in there as well to challenge us, Sean McMahon. Penning him in. He's corralled back there, and it comes off Kilkenny in the end. It will be a Galway ball.
Yeah, outstanding from the Dublin defenders, led by Kieran Kilkenny and Sean McMahon. They used both the end line and the sideline as a trap in the end.
So this is going to be kicked back in by the man who now plays for Kilmacud Crokes here in Dublin, finding Cian Darcy, and over the head eventually. A speculative shot that works out brilliantly. Another point. Another one for Galway. Kieran Malloy.
Kieran Malloy again, Jerry. Yeah. Brilliant ball across from Shane Welch. The Dubs were kind of sleeping in the middle. Great pass. The way Shane Welch is playing, and a couple of the balls he's played inside, I wonder would he be playing a bit further from goals and just act as a playmaker rather than trying to get a score, because every time he's looking to wind up a shot, the Dubs are down on top of him.
Well, we're into the last quarter of an hour now. Both sides have made just one change. As you can see, it's Galway ahead by 3, and it might get even better. Shane Walsh this way, that way, and every other way, and it's in the back of the net, and it might well be John Maher who got the final touch. It's Galway 120, it's Dublin 17 points. All of a sudden there are 6 points between the teams.
Yeah, since Matthew Tierney's come out, we saw him knocking it down there. Just mentioning about Shane Welch maybe acting more as a playmaker. He got a brilliant chance to run at the Dubs. Great save from Evan Comerford first of all, and John Maher was following it in, as he always does with the energy he had, and hand passed it into the back of the net. Significant score.
It certainly may well be. Now it's really putting it up to Dublin. Quarter of an hour remaining at Croke Park.
Sean McMahon is getting treatment now. He was actually down while the sideline was being taken by Shane Welch as well. He looks like he has to be replaced.
Well, John Maher, who got his last championship goal against Armagh last year in Breffni, as we see Sean McMahon have to make way, and he's going to be replaced by Josh Bannon, number 22, coming in. Another player who played in an under-20 final back 6 years ago here. It was late December 2020, and that year Galway beat the Dubs, and Josh Bannon was one of those Dublin players that day.
Yeah, he came on as well last weekend. 2 big, huge games to be coming into in your debut season.
Evan Comerford now, and Dublin under pressure. It's advantage Galway. Are they to be the 4th team to make up the semi-finalists for this year? Niall Scully and Dublin. Just under 15 minutes to go. Brian Howard ready to take it from him and move it forward. Here is Ross McGarry, transferred as far as Con O'Callaghan. Slipped by Paddy Small across to Lee Gannon. Colin Basquel retained here by Gannon again. Kilkenny. Is there a big finish still left in Dublin? After the exertions of last weekend against Donegal, a match that went to extra time. Can they finish strongly? Can Galway repel them and hold on to what they've got already? The decibel level rises. Padar O'Cofaigh-Byrne tries to go round Paul Conroy, who seemed to catch him, and he did. And it's got to be a free in. And here's a chance. Taken very quickly. They can afford to delay a moment because at least they have a chance to chip 1 point off Galway's lead.
Yeah, there's a long way to go yet, Ger. In fairness to Padar O'Cofaigh-Byrne, those slow set attacks, he's been excellent all day, going inside, showing repeatedly as an option to play kind of a wall ball off. And that time he got turned and was fouled, and Con should chip that over.
From the same angle as the last free that he took, that's 5 points for him. So 120 to 18 points now. And Rob Finnerty has got himself a yellow card. And I think that is the only yellow card we've had in the match so far. Great catch there by Cian Darcy from the kick out all the way up on as far as Finian O'Lye. Having a terrific game. Back out to Shane Walsh, more the instigator than the man who completes the moves today, certainly in the second half. John Daly, retained here by Rob Finnerty. Out it goes to Damien Comer. How he'd love to be back in Croke Park in a couple of weeks' time to play in the semi-finals. John Daly threading it over here to the unmarked Dylan McHugh. No pressure on them. Dublin allowing them to play out there outside the 45-metre arc or 40-metre arc, and it's Shane Walsh who comes in, turn ball over, and Dublin have it back, and Dublin are able to get it out with McGarry once again, and away they go once more downfield. Davy Byrne, McGarry taking it up. Bit of urgency, all the way down they go as far as Paddy Small down at the goal where he scored last weekend. A point would do nicely here for the Dubs, and he clips it over, and that is his 4th of the day, and the margin is eaten into. So now it's just a 4-point game, and anything's possible still.
Yeah, excellent score when the Dubs get a chance to go fast as they did from that turnover there. Again, Shane Welch guilty of forcing it. Brilliant score from Paddy Small. Big difference to Galway in the second half has been on their own kick-out. They've won 80% versus 44 in the first half. It's meant that the Dubs haven't been able to build momentum.
They go towards this one again with aggression and try to win it, but Dublin have it back again. That time Theo Clancy, the vital interception. Colin Basquel, 3 points so far, one of them a 2-pointer, waiting. Coming through the centre was Scully, dodging around past Conroy. Challenge about to come in there from Matthew Tierney before he got it out eventually to Brian Howard. Howard outside the arc, then moving in. Holding on to it is Con O'Callaghan. Taking him time to get around past Cian Hernan, and eventually on the left, bit by bit. 6 points by Con O'Callaghan. That's 3 in a row by the Dubs now, where once there was a 6-point lead for Galway, it's now down to just 3. Tim Deering's coming on, number 26 for Dublin. Came on last week as well, so he comes on.
Yeah, we mentioned the kick-outs there a minute ago again, Jared. This is a huge kick-out again from both teams' perspective. Galway or Dublin have got 2 in a row now. They've won 2 kick-outs in a row, so this is a big kick-out.
The other panel were talking about the subs and saying that Dublin had quite a few who might come in and impact the game. Maybe Galway not quite as many. And so far, just Damien Comer's come off the bench for Galway. And now it's the very much lively and energetic Dublin team who are coming back strongly. It's Basquel. Oh, down he goes there. Liam Silk.
Will he give a penalty as well, Ger? No.
It could well be.
Yeah. Goal scoring opportunity.
It is a goal scoring opportunity. You're right, Eamon. It's a penalty for Dublin. Liam Silk hauling down. And no question about it.
Yeah, the Galway lads will argue that Cian Hernan was there, Dylan McHugh was there. We'll see it here now. Basquel. Was it a deliberate pull down? Cian Hernan was there, Dylan McHugh. It's one of those questionable ones.
Off goes Liam Silk on the black card anyway, so he'll be off for 10 minutes, which effectively means they're down to 14 for the game, the rest of the game. Penalty coming up. Louth
showed how to play that earlier on, Ger, but the Galway lads won't have seen that.
I mentioned when the Galway goalkeeper Conor Gleeson played his first match. It was against Monaghan. It was Padraig Joyce's first time as manager, and he saved the penalty that day. Now he's got it in his locker, as they say. I won't say who he saved the penalty against.
I was about to say, who? Can you remember who it was, Ger?
I have an idea. He might have been on the panel recently. Yeah. Anyway,
Tomas and Brian Fenton didn't take too many penalties.
Big moment now coming up. A goal down, Dublin. This opportunity. Conor Callaghan, 22 championship goals scored so far. Now a change made by Galway to cover things. And Johnny McGrath is going to come in, number 19.
It's in for Jack Glynn.
So off goes Glynn. So 2 changes for 2 cornerbacks, with Liam Silkoff black-carded and Glynn gone as well. Conor Callaghan in the 60th minute with 10 minutes left to go. Can he level the game? Oh, it's over the line. It's a green flag, but the goalkeeper made a wonderful attempt to get that and probably feels he has saved it, but it did go over, and Dublin fans are jubilant. It was a little casual, that penalty, but just carried enough pace to get it over the goal line. It was more a chip than a real hard shot.
Yeah, Conor Gleeson got a strong hand to it. He'd be nearly disgusted with it. It was maybe a small bit high. He was gone slightly under it. Got a strong hand, and it just bounced in over the line.
All of which, Eamon, means that the teams are level with 9.5 minutes to go for the 6th time. It is Dublin 120, Galway 120.
Yeah, and all came off the back. I just mentioned that Galway had been 80% in their own kickouts in the second half. Next thing, Dublin won 3 in a row, and all of a sudden they've won 3 scored in a row to make it back a level game.
So there is a change as well. Sean O'Muir comes on.
Kieran Malloy has gone off, Ger.
Yeah. Into the centre, collected there by Cian Darcy. So Sean O'Muir, the latest one to come on, and here is the man who came on earlier, Damien Comer. So back to square one from Galway's point of view. 6 in front not too terribly long ago, and now they've got to do it all again. Rob Finnerty punched inside, taken well here, and that is Comer's shot that comes off the post. They hit the upright again for the 2nd time in this match. Down it comes to safety, down there as far as Josh Bannon, and out away by Lee Gannon. Players ready to take it from him, but it's Gannon who's carrying it down to Niall Scully. He's handled so much football today, covered so many meters and yards and all the rest of it in Croke Park. He's covered every blade of grass, I think. Out to Kieran Kilkenny. Moved ahead here now by Paddy Small. Dublin looking to try and take the lead.
I'd expect them now, they're attacking with an 11v10 here, Ger. I'd expect them to stretch it wide, deep, try and pull the Galway rear guard all over the place and open up a pretty high percentage shot in the end. Basquel
on his left, great block by John Daly. All this while Galway have had to keep 3 men up, even though they're down to 14 because of the regulations, and on they go with Dylan McHugh now. Well, that took a bit of tenacity to win that one there at the other end, and now it is the turn of Johnny McGrath. Would have been disappointed to be left off the team in recent times, holding on to it there well, keeping it alive, and well, Kieran all the way across by Dylan McHugh, over to Finian O'Leigh, lost. Davy Byrne goes in, loses it, back out it comes to Shane Walsh again. Walsh trying the shot, down off the post, the other up right hit this time. Coming up to it was John Maher, taken down, and the referee is going to bring it back, it seems.
He's bringing it back. He was playing an advantage, Ger.
Maher was fouled inside in the goal area. That's what it looked like anyway. That was the shot a moment ago here. This is what happened then. Kind of gently taken down.
What David Goff said to Shane Welch when he asked him the question was he stood him up, minimal contact, no penalty. So they're back out for the two-point effort from the free.
And Jack Glynn has come back on again, and he's come on in place of Johnny McGrath. That was only a temporary substitution. So here's the chance now for Shane Walsh to get his first score in this match. With 7 minutes to go, teams level. It's a two-pointer. The Dublin fans whistling in his ear. Walsh kicking calmly and hitting the post again. 3 times they've hit the post. The goalkeeper saves this time. Finnerty's shot comes in, blocked that time by Davy Byrne. Comes back out to Shane Walsh again, and finally, it's gone over the bar. And Galway have a point from Shane Walsh, and they have the lead, 121 to 120.
Who'd be a manager, Jar? Padraig Joyce that time. Shane Welch took it with his left leg. He doesn't have a weaker foot, but it was still courageous to do it. Missed it, ended up getting a score. Pascal was blocked down at the far side when you would have been expecting him to work a high percentage shot. So there is that bit of mayhem as games are coming down the stretch.
So in points, it's 24-23. Galway leading. 6 minutes to go. Paddy Small holding. Well, after the penalty goal went in by Conor Callan, they probably thought, well, this is it. This is our day. But Galway had lots more to think about and much more to offer, and now lead. Kilkenny hounded here by Jack Glynn, but they still get it in as far as Colin Basquel. Safely across over here to Charlie McMorrow. Dublin looking to try and make this attack count. They have to. It's Scully's effort, and that is a fabulous shot. A two-pointer by Niall Scully. Two-pointers for him today, and look, it's Dublin who are back in front again by a point.
Yeah, eventually they managed to pull them apart. 2 Galway players had committed to the tackling, came out of their kind of defensive zone. Mental space was created for Scully. He got the shot off from the sweet spot.
Changes late on here. Sean Guyden, as you can see, coming on in place of Paddy Small, and also a change being made by Galway. I see Shane McGrath ready to come on as well.
He's come on for Finian O'Leary, so they just changed reverse the order from the start of the game.
This, like the game before it between Louth and Monaghan, will be a great game to win. It'll be an absolutely horrible game to lose, but a place in the semi-final at stake. Injured player down there. I'm not sure, is it Scully?
Scully, brilliant break, won by him, Jar. He threw himself at it to win the breaking ball. Joyce is looking for a hot ball for the restart. I think the Dubs were in possession, so they'll get an indirect free kick from there.
It's his 3rd time in 7 years leading Galway into an All-Ireland quarter-final. Wins so far against Armagh and against Dublin 2 years ago. Ger Brennan hoping that this will be the big day where they advance even further in the championship. Advantage Dublin. Still a lot of football to be played here. I think there's blood on the face of Niall Scully, watching him as we watch this again here. That was the save initially, and then the power from the shot just about carrying over the goal line. Cian Murphy is the next one who's going to come in for Dublin as a blood sum. He's wearing number 20. And that'll be in place of Niall Scully, who's had another fantastic match. So many wonderful performances all throughout the afternoon. Brian Howard with Dublin 1 up. 5 minutes to go, a little under. Tim Deering setting it up here, and it's Scully. He's still out there, still okay. Bloodied but unbowed. Kieran Kilkenny slipping it across here as far as Basquel. Players offering themselves as options for the pass. Comes out to Scully again, having got a 2-pointer a little while ago there. This time running it in, transferring it to Con O'Callaghan, back out towards McGarry, taken up again this time by Sean Guyden, who got 4 points against Donegal last weekend. Kilkenny a little bit conservative, just giving it there as far as McMorrow. Nobody wants to give the ball away cheaply at this stage. Set up a scoring opportunity for the opponent at the other end. So it's McGarry again, hard running, very much his trademark. Slipping it across, Basquel trying to get into the clear for a shot, and beating the attempted blocks and getting it up and over. Another important contribution by Colin Basquel. That is now a total of 4 points in all that he has scored in this match, and it is Dublin who lead the game by 2 with 4 minutes remaining.
Yeah, they worked it well, Ger. They sucked Galway out as Galway had to go after them, chasing the ball, created space inside. Pascal with that step inside and finished it nicely. Paul Conroy gone off.
Yeah, replaced by Johnny McGrath. Came on earlier, Johnny. Galway now need to win this. They keep it in play, do they? Yeah. Still there, picked up by Charlie McMorrow. Back to Kieran Kilkenny, being pursued vigorously now, aggressively by the Galway team. In they go strongly with the hands, the men in the maroon jerseys, and win it back well. That time it was Sean Rockhiroy losing it, however, and Dublin have it back.
What a turnover from Davy Byrne there, Jared. Looked like Galway had the chance to go on the attack. I don't know, is it 7 or 8 All-Ireland medals he has? He's like he had none the way the hunger he had to go after that ball and force the turnover.
Still as eager as ever. Here he is once again, Davy Byrne. Chasing him there is Shane Walsh, just in case he can get in the hand and make a block. But Dublin complete this move successfully and get it away out of danger and get it down the other end of the field. Colin Basquel, his team ahead by 123 to 121, looking to make it even better. Slipping it back to Scully. Is he in the clear? It's Scully. Has a chance. He's taken down now on the 20-metre line. Thought there was a scoring option for him, but I think he saw Cadro Coffig-Byrne in front of him and was thinking about a pass inside. But they'll get something out of it anyway, I think.
Yeah, Scully dodged around. He probably did well to win it. Sean O'Mail Kieran, similar to Liam Silk earlier on, left the hand in, and when you're leaving the hand in, you're giving the referee a decision to make.
Goal and 6 points scored already by Con O'Callaghan from 20 metres out. He should now make it a 3-point game. He has. Galway have 2 minutes to rescue their place in this year's championship.
We've seen it countless times already this summer, Ger. 2 minutes is plenty of time, but they need to get their hands on the ball.
Gleeson's kick, it's caught there by Padaro Coffig-Byrne, the giant in midfield for Dublin. Out to Charlie McMorrow, released to Niall Scully, outside the arc, slipping it across to McGarry. Hand pass forward, and it'll be Guyden. Sean Guyden, only on the field about 5 minutes. Pretty much making certain now, because there's 4 between them and just over a minute still to play. More changes, and coming in will be Liam Smith from the Volunteer St. John's Club. Man who does some great work underage as well as helping and playing with the senior team. And off goes Charlie McMorrow, so Smith comes on. From the kick out, Galway have it. Well, they need rapid scores here. Just over a minute to go. They've got to get it up the field quickly. Here's John Daly, just delayed a bit. McHugh, Finnerty, all the way over here. It comes as far as Shane McGrath. Into the mix, caught there securely by Evan Comerford. 4 points between them. Dublin refusing to yield. 40 seconds to go. Foul on Scully. Free to Dublin.
He's been incredible again today, Niall Scully. He's having the season for the ages.
What an engine. Amazing player. And here comes Liam Smith, savouring the atmosphere, enjoying the occasion, as all Dublin players are. 15 seconds to go. Dublin on their way to the semi-finals, where they will be joining Mayo, Kerry, Louth. Caught inside and then lost, and Dublin have it back again. And this is a Dublin team that seems to be going nowhere. They got their manager back, they got their mojo back, and now they have won against Galway by 4 points, and they're in the 2026 All-Ireland football semi-finals. What a day and what a weekend of football.
What a weekend of football. So many turn-ups, Ger. The black card and the black card penalty is obviously going to be a huge discussion point, because as well as the conversion of the penalty, that last final 10 minutes, Dublin played it very well in terms of the 10 in defence and 10 in attack that Galway were left with. But what a win for Dublin. You've mentioned it already. What a turnaround for them and the season that they've had.
They can celebrate They're on their way to the semi-finals. Great disappointment for Galway today. They started very, very strongly in the second half. Conor Gleeson and that penalty, had he kept it out, that goal by John Maher after 55 minutes, which put Galway 6 points up at that stage. But you've got to credit the way the Dublin team under Ger Brennan fought back bit by bit by bit. They refused to yield. They were never going to resist what Galway were offering them, and they are back in the semi-finals, and let's see how it goes from here on in. Final score, it's Dublin 125, Galway 121.